Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Prize Picks video. This one we're talking about the NBA for Tuesday, April 30th. We have 5 picks in this video to get into, so stay tuned to hear all 5 of the picks. I also give out more picks in the private Discord along with 5 other cappers in here. You can see also give out underdog slips here. This one hit yesterday. Another one of our cappers has swept the past 2 days with his picks on Fliff and Prizepicks that you could see here. A massive hit from one of our cappers over here, a 6-pick hit. Every pick that he gave out yesterday was a winner and put them all together for a 25xer on Prizepicks. And a ton of wins from private Discord members cashing out on multiple slips over here. You can see underdog and Prizepicks hits, so definitely get over here, check it out. It's less than $1 per day to get access to the 5+ cappers, plus more picks from myself. In this video, Prizepicks doesn't have the Bucks Pacers game up yet, so we'll be posting more picks in the private Discord along with MLB, NHL, and more picks from 5+ other cappers in there. So definitely check it out, see how we're getting all those big wins. So the first one I'm going to get to is going to be this Magic Cleveland game. Going to go over on Franz Wagner of the points of 19.5. He's just been playing huge minutes and has been scoring pretty effectively in this series so far. I expect that to continue for him to have another big game here, coming off that 34-point game in this series, and has had a handful of other good ones as well. So going to be going to him in this game. We could take a look at him over here on Outlier, which is a site that I use every single day to look up player props and data on there. If you want to check it out, they do have a 7-day free trial, so use that link down below to get that trial to check it out. You can do some pretty cool things over here. We can see only a 45% hit rate on the season. Smashed the last game with 34. In the series, 34, 16 in a blowout where he didn't play that many minutes, 18 and 18, so barely missed it in the first 2. Last game he played almost 40 minutes, 39.6, and then in that blowout played just 30, but before that, nearly 38 in both the other games. So on the season, averaging just 32. I think he's going to play high 30s of minutes again. So we can only look at games. A cool thing you do on Outlier is when he's played at least 36 minutes in the season, he's hit this in 67% of games, 12 of 18 games. Coming off a massive game, I think he's going to be aggressive again and just playing so many minutes that I'm liking Franz Wagner here over on the points. Then continuing with this game, we're going to go to Evan Mobley, if I could spell his name right, on the under of the points plus the rebounds at 24.5 for Mobley. It is a tougher line for him to hit here, especially against Orlando in this tough matchup. So for Mobley, going to be taking the under. We can see on the season, this one is right at a 50% hit rate for him. But in this tough matchup, head-to-head, last 9 games they played against him, he's only hit this twice. And so far in this series, he hit it in the first game. Hasn't hit it in the last 3, but he's been scoring fairly effectively. And I don't know if he can keep up the scoring rate with the volume of rebounds he also is going to need to hit this one. Orlando first defense in rebounds allowed, third in points. So very tough defense in both these categories. So going to be going to the under on Mobley. Just tough matchup for him. He hasn't been playing massive minutes. He's been playing like in the 30s of minutes as well. So going to be taking the under on Mobley here. Then for the next pick, we're going to come over to OddsJam and look at one of their top value picks. Basically how OddsJam works is they look at other sports books and their lines compared to Prizepicks, underdogs, and the other player prop sites. So right now on the Prizepicks tab, one of their favorite picks, Mitchell over 9.5 rebounds plus assists. FanDuel minus 142, Caesars minus 137. So a lot of these sites are really liking this one on the over. Mitchell's been smashing this as well this season. We do have a tough matchup like we just talked about. Both teams have tough matchups here, especially Cleveland against Orlando, who's been one of the top ranked defenses all year. But we can look at his rebounds plus assists Orlando, really tough for this matchup, but head-to-head, you can see he's hit it in 5 of 10, so actually pretty decent. And 3 of his last 5 games, he's hit this against Orlando, including twice in this series out of 4 games here. So actually liking Donovan Mitchell on this one, over of 9.5. But we can also look on the season. It's been a completely different story. He's hit this 64% of the time. And Mitchell's playing a massive amount of minutes. Played over 36 in 3 of 4 games. So I guess not massive, but 36 plus minutes. If we just lock him in for 35 here, he's got this at a 75% hit rate on the season. So liking Mitchell in this one, I think it's going to be a bounce back game for him and the Cavs. That's a good value pick here from OddsJam. Check them out. They do have a free trial as well if you use that link down below. So check them out. Then we're going to move on to the next game. And in this next game, the Knicks Sixers, I'm expecting Dante DiVincenzo to bounce back in this one. 2.5 threes seems like a high line, but it's one he's been smashing all year. And just these last 2 games, he's played less minutes than he has in a long time here. But I'm thinking he's going to have a bounce back game. If he hits some shots, is playing well early, I think he's going to see in the 30s of minutes. But what we've seen late is a minutes just below 30 here, which is unusual. But for 3-pointers made on the season, it's a 62% hit rate for him. And we could look at the minutes. They were way up there. He was playing like 40 minutes a night. And then the last 2 games, he's played 28 in each. But the second game in this series, he did play 37. So I think he could be in for a good game, bounce back game in this one. So I'm actually liking DiVincenzo to come back and play like his normal self when he's hit this at a 62% rate. We can also see when he's played at least 28 minutes this year, he's hit this 84% of the time. But, I kind of put him in for between 28 and like 35. And it's still an 80% hit rate when he plays between those minutes on the season. So I think if he can get even in that range, I'm still liking this one. Going to Dante with a bounce back game here. Going to hit 3 threes. And then going to another guy on the other side who has been kind of surprising this series. He's played really well. So going to go to Kelly Oubre here. He's basically been their 3rd best scoring option, who, you probably thought that would have been Tobias Harris before the series started, or maybe even someone else on this roster. But it's been Kelly Oubre Jr. He's put together a few nice games in this series, so liking him to come back. He's been aggressive here, and I think he's going to be in for big minutes and have a big role as the third scoring option, and especially, the second option when either Maxey or Embiid is off the court, which they probably won't be off that much. But on the season, he's hit this 64% of the time, and we can look at games with Embiid. It does drop down to a 56% hit rate, but still over half the time. But then also, let's just look at this series and kind of see what's going on here. He's played 39 minutes in the last game and 38 before that. The game before that, he only played 25 for some reason, and then the first game he played 39. So, we can really expect mid to high 30s of minutes again, and he's out there to shoot the ball and score, as that third option, second when the other guys are off the court. So if he's going to play 35 minutes plus in this game, it's a 90% hit rate on the season, 19 of 21 games. So really liking Oubre here. It's a tough matchup. We saw he scored 19 and 15 the last 2 games, and honestly, his shot wasn't falling like that well, it seemed like, in those games either. So I think if he can even shoot at an average clip, he could hit this one of 12. So going to go to him. And if you guys want more picks, I do post them in the private Discord, including underdog picks. But I'm just one capper. We have 5+ cappers over here giving out winning slips. You guys saw all those slips that have hit over the last 3 days for Rajic. Volobets hit a massive one yesterday. 25x here, 6 for 6 on the picks he gave out in the private channel. A ton of big wins on both Prizepicks and underdog for private Discord members. So definitely check it out. Less than $1 per day. So we'll see you in the Discord, and subscribe to the channel.